When I left school, I didn't know how difficult life was going to be. Reading, I was a little slow. Um, I wasn't really good at writing either. That was when things started getting more complicated. I started skipping class in 8th grade. I would just wander around the school. When I got out of school at 3 o'clock, I would go fishing or ride my motorcycle. I really didn't care about school.
He's just like me. He didn't study much. I left school very early. My wife was the one who helped him with tests because I didn't understand what he was studying. I really didn't know how to explain to him what he needed to know.
I would often show up at his school without him knowing, to see how Joel was doing, how he was paying attention at school and in his classes, but he failed me many times. I gave up. I didn't know what to do. People may say you could have helped him more, but I just didn't know what else to do. That was very sad for me. Because I knew his future was going to be hard.
I have a 5-year-old daughter from my first marriage, and now I have a boy with Mara. They don't give you a job if you don't graduate from high school. That is a very difficult situation for me. I wake up at 5 a.m., I work hard, lifting 40, 50-pound boxes all day until 5 p.m., and that's not easy. I go fishing sometimes to see if I can make a good sell. And if there's no fishing, I go get coconuts. I make a few gallons and deliver them. I got a job as a waiter too. I start around 6 p.m. and I leave around 1 a.m. to wake up again at 5 a.m. to start in the warehouse again. I really didn't imagine it would be this hard. Years ago, I didn't even imagine having to live this life.
When Javier was a young boy, he was very studious, good. He had good grades. But later, out of nowhere, he got into drugs. He got in through the back door, opened the door, and he robbed me. He got stuck in his anger because he didn't know anything about his parents.
Javier went through Cuesta Vieja to the town up to Colon Park. There they made a firearm deal. Then they came here to Video 107, and that's how they went in, armed.
We did a study and found out that 48% of kids that started kindergarten didn't finish high school.
I left school in 8th grade and never went back.
I failed 1st grade and 2nd grade because I didn't know how to read or write.
We have a less productive population because of the increase in students dropping out. Therefore, less economic activity. This is reflected in a decrease in the quality of life for all.
My name is Noel Quiñones. During the last 15 years, I have dedicated myself to developing strategic programs to address educational challenges in my country. Talking with directors, teachers, superintendents, students, parents, and understanding their challenges. The problem is what happens after 3 p.m. At about 3 p.m., when students leave school, they go to a home where they don't have the support they need to better themselves. That is the beginning of school abandonment issues at an early age.
My name is Angel L. Rodriguez Rosa. I am the director of the Antonio Badillo Hernandez Middle School from the San Antonio town in the neighborhood of Montana de Aguadilla. During the 2010-2011 school year, 46% of enrolled students didn't graduate 9th grade. The following year, 2011 to 2012, 48% of enrolled students didn't graduate. In 2012-2013, we identified that from 125 students, 64 were not going to graduate. Ashley, Virginia, Shalimar, Jacob, Jomar, JDL, and Victor were 7 students from the 64 that were borderline failing. They were normal kids. They were talented.
Jacob was very popular with the girls.
He was the DJ, the one who had the music equipment and made the connections. Victor has a lot of talent. He has an amazing voice.
I hired him for all my environmental club activities because he is a beautiful singer.
JDO liked sports. He loved basketball.
He's a great boxer.
Shalimar could have been a great coordinator or in public relations. When the kids wanted to do something, she was the one that asked me with lots of confidence.
Virginia was a very interesting girl, friendly, funny.
A student with a strong voice. I told her she had the voice of a public speaker.
Ashley is the typical girl that every boy falls in love with.
She's respectful, a brilliant girl.
When you called Jomar to talk to him and he said yes, he would come through. He was a man of his word.
Jomar was very talented raising horses. Jomar knows how to control a horse. And he is very talented.
They really are all talented. But there doesn't exist a connection between talent and their potential with the reality of life. Many of these students that don't graduate end up abandoning school altogether, becoming parents at a young age, children raising children. They are living with their tired grandparents that are not capable of managing their grandchildren's situations, eating worst quality food because they can't do anything else or because they don't have the resources for anything else. They abandon school without knowing what they are doing and succumb to a life of poverty.
Wherever we go, on the radio, medical offices, what we hear is that it's the teacher's fault or that it's a bad school.
At the school, we have everything that you find at a private school. Innovative programs, engaged teachers, technology. But at the end of the school year, we saw those numbers again. 46% and 48% of kids dropping out in 9th grade. For the 2012-2013 school year, the abandonment rate had gone up to 51%. We were doing something wrong.
Our challenges start after 3 p.m. Kids come home from school, don't find a familiar environment that supports them with their school responsibilities. That is the path that leads to this cancer that our country is facing. School abandonment at an early age. And that is where Nilda Prieto's project comes in.
My name is Nilda Prieto. I work in the Human Resources Department of Hewlett-Packard. We have different community involvement projects, and one of them is focused on education. From February to May 2013, I worked with the teachers, the community, and the director to make sure that these kids stayed in school. The first thing that we did was design a mentoring program.
A diverse group of citizens that decided to support and work in this program. They were the mentors.
We made a call to the community and recruited volunteers that wanted to help these students. By the end of January 2013, we called the students to visit Hewlett-Packard.
We decided in the first meeting that none of the 64 students were leaving without their mentor. Therefore, we worked on the inventory. All the students by name. We worked on the citizens list with all the names. And we matched them all.
Ashley, Virginia, and Shalimar were students of Salinas Prosper, a mentor and an engineer at Hewlett-Packard.
They couldn't see that beyond their world there were professionals and work-educated people. They could only see what they had at home, what they had around.
Jomar was paired with Edwin Hernandez, engineer from LifeScan.
Jomar needs math, English, Spanish, science, and history.
Victor worked with his mentor, Rosa Quinones, retired from the field of technology.
Where did we fail? How did we fail? Who failed them?
Jacob got paired with Adrian and his wife Liz, both engineers at Hewlett-Packard.
It was more than a social duty. It was an answer to what I was taught at home.
Being a mother, I really want him to learn that human beings, they need to help the community and also people that might be needing us. JDL worked with Zaimara Medina, engineer at Hewlett-Packard.
If I make an impact and make them yearn for more, to be students that desire to become a professional member of society, then there's no need to wait.
The objective was clear, that these students graduate in May and that this would become beneficial to them, their community, and Puerto Rico as a whole.
When we started the program, mentors started noticing the drama.
I picked them up every day, from Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. until I took them back. They didn't pay attention. They didn't respect what I asked them to do. They were texting all the time. They didn't give me their cell phone. They just kept texting and laughing. And working with them every day has been a real challenge.
JDL was living in a difficult situation.
My brother got into trouble. He took a dangerous path and was in jail. It's not easy to see your brother there. He showed me his bruises from fighting with 5 guys. That's not easy.
Mom and Dad focused on his brother, and JDL focused on what he liked. Sports, boxing, but he didn't notice that he was not paying attention to his studies.
They are working with students that possibly are behind 2 to 3 school years.
Victor was failing science. He had 36% in science, 54% in math, and 56% in Spanish. When you visit their home, you will understand. The grass is super high, trash everywhere. And you think, well, you think, wow, how can a human being live here?
He was very behind. I told him, you are very behind. If you wouldn't have stopped doing all your homework, you wouldn't have had to write that much. My hand hurts. Don't tell me your hand hurts. We played handball yesterday and your hand didn't hurt. Today, we're doing this homework and we're not leaving until we are done.
Students without any study habits.
When I saw his notebook for the first time, it had like 2 pages with notes from 3 or 4 months.
When we visited Jacob's house to meet his mother and observe the environment that he lived in, we noticed that he spent a lot of his time alone.
The financial situation has forced her to have a job with a difficult schedule and bad pay. She works a lot. When she gets home, she's tired. Most of the afternoon and evening has passed, so her opportunity to discipline her son and create a studying routine has passed.
Students have to learn matrices and mathematical equations when maybe their parents never even learned to add and subtract. Therefore, you are facing a community with many difficulties.
Can we or can't we? Can we or can't we? Do we give up or we don't give up?
This was it. Either I develop a working strategy based on all my years of experience, or I have no opportunity of prevailing. Here is when something interesting happens. Recognizing that everyone is motivated by something, they started identifying what motivated each of the students.
He has so many talents. He likes volleyball. They made special volleyball tournaments so Victor could participate. He sings. I took him to meet a friend of mine, Enrique Colon. Enrique started giving him singing tips. He entered the cabin and he sang.
You could tell he was absorbing every detail of what I was saying.
Adrian started calling me the sound guy when he found out I threw the parties at the school. That I'm the one who sets them up, I'm the one that mixes everything so it sounds good.
He knows all about frequencies. He understands the potential of sound.
I had subwoofers at home for my SUV and they were covered in wood. Until Adrian saw it and he said, that can't be there, you have to cover that. It'll look better, nicer. I just did that without thinking.
That's not acceptable. If you're going to have a business, what's going to happen to you?
And our relationship blossomed when I upholstered the base.
JDL always said his goal was to work and save money, to travel to New York with his aunts. He had a great desire to go there.
I went there in 2012 for a fight to New York and I liked it, so I wanted to go again.
The only thing that they told me from the beginning is that they were dumb. I don't know who told them that they were dumb, that they weren't going to learn, but that's what they told me. She told me to think about my future. You will grow up, you will have an education, a job, and your own children. And when they reach that age, what are you going to say? That you don't want to study? I obviously knew that more than anything, what they needed was love, and I was there for that.
He has great talent to play handball, a sport where you need your hands. His brain, his computer works. He has the mental capacity.
These members of the community started earning the respect of the children. The kids began to see that their mentors really wanted them to succeed.
Everything changed. Everything really changed. Thanks to the time that she dedicated to us, I am now okay. With good grades, I'm respectful, I respect everyone. She made me understand a lot of things.
We did a science project of natural resources. We strolled through the river, looked at the rocks, the birds, the trees. We did a whole project on that.
Projects there, tests here. When we went to pick up the grades, I was very surprised. They were A's, B's, and C's. No D's or F's. Seeing that motivated me even more to keep moving forward, to keep taking the tests, being firm.
When I saw that Adrian was trying to help me, and he's not even family, I thought to myself, he really wants to help me, so let me see if I really could try them. And I let him help me.
We'd pick him up every day because he's on the way. If I have to go buy something, Adrian takes his notebook out and it's time to study.
These two go together, strong vowel, weak vowel. During the day, we would go over the rules. After 5 to 20 minutes of rules, we focused on the test. Challenging, challenging, challenging. What did you learn? Apply the rules. I said, Jacob, think about yourself tomorrow. Concentrate. Don't be scared. It was going to be the first time he took a test after I don't know how many years since he had actually studied.
We finished one job and moved to the next. There was no time to explore. We did not rest. Everything happened in a short period of time, so we didn't let our guard down.
39 students were no longer failing. 39.
He didn't do his homework. Now he's doing his homework. He didn't go to class. Now he's going to class. One time he had a history test, and the teacher asked, "Are you going to take it?" "I'm not sure, teacher." He wasn't sure he was going to do well. And he told her he was going to take it. "I'm going to take it because I gave Edwin my word, and I have to fulfill my promise."
I sat at the desk with my heart beating fast, waiting for the test. I saw an 87% and said, I can do it. I ran to the classroom, called Adrian very happy, and told him, I can do it.
I told him, if you work hard, I'll take you to the volleyball game. And if you graduate, I'll get you the volleyball that you want. I bought him the ball that he wanted, and he responded.
I had a 56% in math and got a 100% in yesterday's test.
Wow. You see you can do it? You see how well you did? And he was happy, showing everyone his grade. Look what I got.
Now he's visualizing himself in another environment, with another lifestyle. The most important value of a society is the human being, and if they have low self-esteem because of their social environment, that has a direct impact on what goes into society.
Préstame tu mano para sentirme vivo. Préstame tu calma para vivir en paz. Préstame unas horas, acaso es mucho lo que pido. Cuando todo se desborda, ya no hay más que derramar.
It's a pleasure and honor to declare that these students have graduated. Congratulations.
¿Acaso es mucho lo que pido? Cuando todo se desborda, ya no hay más que derramar. Busco quien me preste ese calor, que me cubra del sol, para no quemarme más. Mi corazón ya no aguanta más ruido, y es por eso que te pido algo que me puedas dar. Préstame tu mano, préstame tu mano, préstame tu mano, que será el mejor regalo que me puedas dar. Te presto mis zapatos y verás lo que he vivido. Estoy a orillas del camino y aún me falta andar. Préstame unas horas, ¿acaso es mucho lo que pido? Cuando todo se desborda, ya no hay más que derramar. Busco quien me preste ese calor, que me cubra del sol, para no quemarme más. Mi corazón ya no aguanta más ruido, y es por eso que te pido algo que me puedas dar. Préstame tu mano, préstame tu mano, préstame tu mano, que será el mejor regalo que me preste ese calor, que me cubra del sol, para no quemarme más. Mi corazón ya no aguanta más ruido, y es por eso que te pido algo que me puedas dar. Préstame tu mano, préstame tu mano, préstame tu mano. Préstame tu mano, que será el mejor regalo.
Students graduated.
We have been developing this project for years. The first year, from the 64 students, 95% graduated, 97% the second year, 100% the third year. From then on, we have eradicated school abandonment at an early age at this school, one of the most complex schools in Puerto Rico. Therefore, if you do not address the students' needs after 3 p.m. and you do not create discipline, if we want to stop being dependent, if we want to reduce these poverty numbers that we have to address school abandonment at an early age, one by one.
Préstame tu mano para sentirme vivo. Préstame tu calma para vivir en paz. Préstame unas horas, ¿acaso es mucho lo que pido? Cuando todo se desborda, ya no hay más que derramar. Préstame tu sombra para compartir contigo. Préstame tu risa, que la mía no da más. Préstame unas horas, ¿acaso es mucho lo que pido? Cuando todo se desborda, ya no hay más que derramar. Busco quien me preste ese calor, que me cubra del sol, para no quemarme más. Mi corazón ya no aguanta más ruido, y es por eso que te pido algo que me puedas dar. está